Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit Podcast with me, Alex Whiteley. Today I'm coming to you from the Alb, a place that this podcast does have a great affinity with. Back in the day, we used to go there and record episodes with, when James Hitchin owned it. We used to stand up in the same place where I'm doing today's interview. I used to stand up, do interviews. I'd hear the roaring traffic. I'd have to edit it out. It was just, but it's a completely different place now. A completely different place now. And JJ, who's coming on the podcast, is going to explain everything he's done to it and why, really. You know me, I love to take a walk around inside the head of business owners and find out, what makes them tick. So that's where we are today. We're at the Alb. Have you guys been enjoying the sun? It's been a very busy weekend for us because the weather's been amazing. So my wife's like, "Ow, now let's do stuff," which I've been happily obliged to do. We went to a really cool place yesterday, which I'm not going to stop talking about now for a few days. I've never been there, but apparently it's quite... People love this place. It's called the Crocky Trail. It's in Cheshire. It's like about an hour away, about an hour and a bit away. And it's just like... It's a theme park made of, you can make the rides out of, farmyard machinery and stuff. Like, it was, for example, right, there's this place, this ride called the Titanic. And it's like a giant dump truck thing. You all run to the back. You can't climb up, sit up as a slide. And it raises and raises and raises and raises until it gets vertical. And then you all end up sliding down. And they make the rides fast by spraying water on it. It's just an ingenious... I can't get over how simple it was. The slides are made out of black plastic that makes it go fast. It makes you go fast. It's amazing, right? And you get your money's worth because you pay to go in, and everything's free to play, all the games and stuff. The food's reasonable, and it's like an hour and a half trail around with all these little activities as you go along. If you've never been there, give it a Google and go take your kids and thank me later. But it's given me a really cool idea. I feel like I could take a 60-minute or an hour drive radius and draw a circle around Shrewsbury. Maybe we can do something for the summer holidays. Maybe we can interview some of these places and find out what they're all about, and give I know some parents a bit of a guide towards the summer holidays. We've got a few weeks to play with this, and we can do something like this. I think it'd be really cool. So, if you're listening to this and you own a theme park, get in touch naturally. But either way, I'll be. I feel like there's something there. Definitely a thread we can pull on. Big shout out to the guys as well today. Yesterday, should I say? It was the Loop Fest rap party, but it was my anniversary, so I couldn't go. So apologies, but my wife said no. No, she didn't. She said, "Yeah, we can go if you want to," which is code for now. But yeah, congratulations to everyone again for Loop Fest. I hope you had a great rap party. You guys enjoy. I hope you deserve a good night after everything that you've all done for that festival. I've still got a lot of love for that. Still riding the high from Loop Fest, and the episode we released last week was a great testament to that. And we had so many great comments about that as well. So thank you to everybody that got in touch about that episode. Yeah, I really enjoyed putting that together. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've worked on for ages. Here is your interview with JJ from the Alb. I'm going to need to put 2026 in this as well because we did the Alb back in the day. So yeah, this is the Alb 2026. Enjoy. I took my lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed, ignored my hunches. I focused on the wrong stuff, but baby, you are the change now. Let them talk, let them talk, let them talk. Took my lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed. Right, so we're at the Alb. This is a place where the biscuit, I won't say it had its beginnings, but when the biscuit first started getting its momentum, sort of late 2018, 19, James Hitchin had the place. He had some big stand-up tables here in this where we are now, and we used to stand here, do interviews, watch the traffic go by, and we'd hear all the trucks rumbling by and stuff. But the Alb is completely different now. I mean, it's so... I love James. I love the Alb as it was before, but it's now got so much character. And Jay, thank you for coming on the biscuit.
No, it's great. It's great to being invited, to be completely honest with you. A bit of an honour.
Bless you.
obviously, I love to speak to business owners and get inside that head and walk around because it's not easy running a business.
God help you.
So today I want to find out a bit about you, Jay. I mean, where'd you hail from originally? Where does life begin for you?
Oh, so I was originally born in Woking in Surrey. Many moons ago. It's my 40th this year. So yeah, I was originally born there. And my parents were in the army. So I travelled quite a lot.
Had brat.
Yes, I am, yes. I travelled quite a lot, spent a lot of time in Cyprus, etc. Came back to the UK, and it was how we ended up in Shrewsbury. I think it was because my stepdad at the time, he had some really good friends that lived in Shrewsbury. We popped up here for a weekend to visit them. I must have been only 8 or 9 years old. And then all I remember then is 2-3 weeks later, we was moved into Shrewsbury, and we lived in Shrewsbury and went to Shrewsbury Life. So
now you're here.
And now I'm here.
An adopted saloon.
Yeah, exactly. So went to secondary school here. And then, but then as soon as I turned 18, I moved back overseas again. So I don't know if I had just that overseas blood in me. I then become a holiday rep. So I was traveling.
Oh, that's quite a cool lifestyle.
Yeah, so I travelled the world for about 3 or 4 years. I was not one of these Club 1830s rep. I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I was thinking I'd be front covered.
No, don't get me wrong. A lot of alcohol was consumed over a 3-4 year period. However, I was family rep I lived in Egypt, Cyprus, Gran Canaria, Fuerteventura, all these places across Europe. Enjoyed the job. Then came back to the UK in 2008, then travelled on an airline. So worked for an airline TUI, or back then it was First Choice Airways, I think.
First Choice?
Yeah, First Choice, or Air 2000, people knew it back. So then continued travelling the world and fell into hospitality. It really was. I was very drunk on a night out. I lived at this time in Creepy Crawley, just outside of Gatwick Airport.
Crawley, yeah.
That's where I lived. There used to be a club called Bar Med, which I think Shrewsbury used to have a Bar Med.
Okay.
I think where Monty's is now, that used to be a Bar Med because it used to be a brand. So I knew the lady that used to run it there. She was like, "Oh, I'm looking for a trainee deputy manager." I was like, "Cool, fantastic. I might be able to do it part-time." She goes, "No, I want someone full-time." And at this time, the airline industry was changing. So it was a decision I made. Oh, yeah, actually, let's do something different. So I took redundancy.
When was that? 2008?
2008, 2009.
Like the market crashes and stuff, wasn't it? Yeah.
So they were the company I worked for were giving out redundancy, and it was even the conditions of flying, because it was a great job to work. It was... Flying as cabin crew was more of a lifestyle than it was doing it for the money, because now the starting wage is only £12,500 a year.
That's mad, isn't it?
That's the salary, and you earn your money by working, getting your commission or your flight pay. There's so many other extras but it is not. You don't do it for the money.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting this assistant manager's job at a Bar Med, a nightclub. Unfortunately, that club then closed down 3 weeks later.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's been great.
But luckily, the company that owned it really looked after me, and they transferred me to another site in Croydon, of all places, South London. So I went there as a deputy manager running a Reflex and Flares, which they used to be a Flares in Shrewsbury. So it's the same company. And the rest is really history. I then travelled for this company. I was with them for Stonegate Pub Company. I was with them for about 12 years. Got me all the way right the way up to sort of like an operations manager level. And then ended up, COVID happened, and I decided I wanted to slow down in life because I was working every hour God sends. I'm still doing that. But I then came back to Shrewsbury, where my parents lived, and I've been back in Shrewsbury now, COVID's 5-6 years ago.
6 years? Can you believe it?
I know,
6
it's
years
crazy, isn't it? It's crazy to think that we sat at home for nearly 2 years, and it is, that is going to make history, isn't it? We're going to talk about it for many years to come.
Yeah.
I moved back. I was manager at Hickory's, so I was there for
did you work with George? Who owns Hokey Pokey?
Oh, I know of George, but I didn't work with him.
Local legend.
Yeah, so I, with Charlotte was...
Charlotte?
Charlotte. Who doesn't know Charlotte? Everyone knows Charlotte and the Malloy's family. Yeah, fantastic. Who we are best friends to this day. And I then went to Armoury next door. I was then a manager then for the Armoury. I was the Armoury for about a year and a half.
You abandoned ship next door?
I did abandon ship, yes. How it happened is I decided I wanted to come out of hospitality and went and get an office job. That didn't go well. I couldn't sit still in an office. I was in that office job for about 4 months, and I just have the hospitality blood through me, and I had to get back to hospitality, and that's where I ended up in the armoury. And the opportunity of the hour came up, and you mentioned James Hitchin. Obviously, the Hitchens family built this from the 2012, and they built an absolutely fantastic core base of a business.
It was amazing.
And I think, obviously, the Hitchens then got to that point where actually, I think all their ideas have probably exhausted all of their ideas, and I think they've decided, we've taken this business to where we can take it to.
Yeah.
And that's where a family came in called the Charman family, which took the business on, and probably about 6 months after, that's when I was introduced as a manager, and then got the opportunity back end of last year to purchase the business off them, because they were then also in the stage where we're like, we're not too sure what to do with the business. You've obviously been in this game for a long time. Would you like this business? And there we are. And we're now today, been here. I've been in the business for 2 years. However, I've been owner of the business since December last year.
So how's that going from like a manager to your name above the door? Was that a good feeling? Was it a stressful thing? Was it like, oh my God, pinch me moment?
I think it's a bit mixture of pinch me moments, because I've worked for large corporate companies for many, many years, and they tell you when you're allowed to sell a cocktail at what time and what price.
Yeah.
To then go to, no, you can do it for yourself. You could, you're doing it for yourself. This is the price you're going to sell it at. And so it was a bit of that. However, unfortunately, I took on a business at a very scary time when the government decided to release all these new budgets and etc. When I then, on the day of budget, we're gone, wow, what have I done?
I was chatting to Darren, who owns Gin Different. We had a good chat. And he was like, I want to come on your podcast. We were just walking and passing. He was like, I want to come on the podcast. And I was like, what? He's like, I need to talk about the taxes they're putting on alcohol. It's ridiculous. Obviously, he's just launched his own gin at the time. And he's kind of like, it's how our business is supposed to like survive.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've done a couple of videos on social media. I will create a bit of noise, continue to carry on creating a bit of a noise around it. But it is tough out there. However, I'm a true believer. You can either keep your feet up and just think, do you know what, let's open the doors, let's hope for the best and close the doors. In business, that is no longer. You have to be in the fast lane and stay in that fast lane, because if you don't, someone else is going to take it. So I also had a really great opportunity to come up with me recently. I think I briefly mentioned it to you on online, but I'm now also the owner of Dinky's Diner.
I didn't know if we were allowed to talk about that.
No.
You told me that and I was like, what an opportunity, because I drive past that a lot and I'm thinking, you know what, that's such a landmark in Shropshire. There's all those motorbikes outside. It's just such an amazing spot. And if you think like I don't know what you're going to do with it, but like 1950s diner-esque type thing, like that would be a staple then. Yes. You know, I don't know if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, no, you're literally on exactly the same level as me. So I have
an entrepreneur in the making.
I've been involved with Dinky's Diner for over 25 years. It's 35 years old this year.
Okay.
So my mum's worked there for 22 years. So I've worked in it, so I've known that my mum's worked there. And then I used to help them out. Before I had the Alb, I used to help them out when they were short-staffed on a Sunday and they couldn't get Sunday staff. And Dickie Dawes, who owned it, he would always give me a call and go, oh, Jay, can you work this Sunday for me? So I've always been involved in the business. Unfortunately, Mr. Dawes, he passed away last October. So it was then passed over to his family, Benjamin Dawes, who did an absolutely great job to try and keep the wheels turning as such. I did notice, obviously, with my mum still working there, Meads doing the odd shift here and there when they needed help, was Benjamin Dawes and the rest of his family, they all live in London, and trying to operate the business from London.
Keep their foot on the pedal from there,
It's, as you said, it's an iconic business within Shropshire, and I could see over time, I kept ringing Benjamin, I said, you need to make a bit of investment in this business. I think you've got the next 35 years are planned out for you if you do it right. Again, just a bit of time. We just didn't have the time. So I did approach the family and say what I wanted to do. Obviously, a family trying to, not straight away wanted to sell a business that's at 35 years old.
And got their name on the...
Yeah. So, and obviously, I wanted to keep the legacy of Mr. Dawes. Mr. Dawes was very close to the family. So I was like, no, I want to keep the legacy there. I want it to trade as it is for the next 35 years, but I want to take it to the next level. It took a few months to get over the line, but we got it over the line. So on the 1st of May, it then sat under my new umbrella of JMC Hospitality, and it's thriving. I've only been there. We're going into our third weekend now. And even the new customers that we're having coming in, old customers that come in, we've made huge investments outside with brand new furniture. But when you go back to sort of like what you're saying about the 1950 diner vibe, that's what we're going to try and go towards. So I've got huge, currently at the moment, I mean, is an absolute blessing to me, Claire from Colours of Shrewsbury.
Right, we'll put a pin in here for a second.
We'll put a pin there.
Claire, you're a legend. We'll come back to you.
She is helping me out massively, and we've got this brand new sign, a 12-metre signage being hand-painted as we speak, and it's going to give you that sort of vibe. And we're going sort of that, sort of like an American diner / sort of like an American pit stop, shall we say. That's the sort of we're going vibe we're going.
Do you know what? There's this amazing film that I absolutely love. If you like business, and it's called The Founder with Michael Keaton, who is basically the story of how he stole McDonald's from the McDonald brothers.
Yeah.
And there's this scene where there's he's sat in a car, and this lady is just roller skating up to his car, and she slips and all the juice goes. I was thinking, that's such a cool idea.
Yeah.
Roller skate. 1950s diner, that was a pain in the ass back then.
Yeah.
Seen as something really bad, but as something of that kind of, I don't know, there's something there, isn't there?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and I remember seeing something about people going, all these 1950s furniture that everyone threw out in the 60s and 70s. Now everybody's trying to buy back.
Trying to get it back, yes. Yeah. So that's what. So that's where I am at the moment. I'm extremely busy flitting between the two businesses and keeping them up and running. But as we go back to saying that business is very, very tough. And unfortunately it's not going to get any easier, and it seems to be getting harder because I'm also a hotel, we're here as well, so they're looking to introduce this holiday tax, which still will affect a lot.
You got a hotel as well?
Yeah, so we've got a 10-room hotel.
Oh wow!
So we're a 10-room hotel, we're a bar, restaurant, and then obviously I've got Dinky.
This is a hotel?
Yeah. So behind that wall there, probably that will be a double room that's behind that wall there. So there's the building basically adjacent to it. So it used to be many years ago, back when the Hitchens had it at the very beginning. It used to be 3 separate flats, and I think it was them that converted it to hotel rooms. So
I had no idea. I've driven past this for years. I didn't even know there was a hotel.
Yeah.
I knew it was the Owl, but I didn't know it was a hotel. I mean,
yeah. So, that's what I mean. It wasn't until probably the end of summer last year that actually a hotel sign was put up outside the building that says the Albert Hotel. So that's classed as the Albert Hotel. We're the Alb here, but yeah, we've got.
By the way, a lot of love for James and John. They do. Yeah. They're both just their minds just always popping, and I always mix their names up as well.
I think he's down the southwest at the moment, isn't he?
He's still in LT Grey, the other van.
Yeah.
I'll bump into him and I'll go, James, because if I see John, they're both brilliant guys. Now, we got to talk about the location, because obviously this area of Shrewsbury is about to change.
Yeah,
they're already building what's going to be the new Riverside development. Yeah. That's an opportunity, right? It's got to be
100%. I mean, I didn't realise how big. The area, or probably the investment they're making it. And I think over the years, it's been a bit wishy-washy what it's actually going to be. But even now they're starting to reveal take some of the paneling down. You can see it. It looks like it's going to be an absolute beautiful area, especially if it's going to be very similar to the weather that we're going to get this weekend. But it looks like it's going to be a lovely outside area for people, which for us as a business and people will see them as a competitor. But I like businesses to work together. Still open. It's going to be with the 2 sites either side of this area, and I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Big shout out to Ollie as well, and then because what they've done with the market Tavern.
Oh, it's incredible, absolutely incredible.
Ashley's was ace. I mean, it was what it was. It was always packed as well. They've obviously looked at the geography and that and gone cha-ching, you know. Yeah,
no, it's absolutely great. I popped in there, and I've got a very close friend that was working there did all the painting inside for the conversion, so I got a few sneak peeks before, and I do need to remember. I have actually got a engraved pint glass made for them for their opening, but I have not been able to have time to actually drop it off and give it to them.
It's all lies. He hasn't really.
it's in my boot, I promise.
Now coming to what was the Alb, it was a nice build, and I always coming in for craft beer, that kind of vibe. You've come in here with your you've got an amazing personality, and we'll come back to that again. You've just slapped all your personality all over the walls, all the furniture. It's amazing. It looks amazing in here. So thank you.
When I because obviously the Alb was always known as quite a dark. It was quite big. It went with the aesthetics of everything else that they did with the dark. It was quite dark, and it had the skulls on the wall and things like that. And then they brightened it up a little bit a few years ago. And now you come in, it is just a splash of colour everywhere. The main reason for that was because when I first. When I reintroduced the bottomless brunches, which are
like they're proper in at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So I reintroduced them, knew that they were in, and which I just saw them get bigger and bigger. And we get to the point now where every month we do a themed bottomless brunch. So we've just done the R&B one. We've got a Mamma Mia one coming up. We've got a Grease coming up. We've got a Broadway brunch coming up. There's so many that we've got, which I would like to give a shout out to DJ Fender Kid, who has been my literally right-hand girl with these bottomless brunches and has just completely transformed it. So they've got a full...
Maybe we'll have to do a biscuit bottomless brunch. We'll come
100%. I don't know what the quality of sound will be towards the end of it.
I love stuff. We just did Luke Fest, and I edited it the other night. Stayed up to like midnight, and it was a school night as well. So I was like, the first, the Friday, was it the Friday, the Saturday? Everyone was just buying me drinks. I'm the biscuit guy. It was nice. It was quite cool. And by the end of it, I was very much like, "You're amazing, man." I don't mind that at all.
No, but I mean, I don't. I've stopped. Bottomless bunches now because I said I'm getting older now and I can't really last for 2 hours anymore. I used to be a really good hardcore drinker. Now I'm not. But yeah, so and that's where the colours come from. And actually, I had a girl that works for me called Emily. Again, she's one of my really good friends, Charlotte's sister. She said, "Oh, Jay, you need to have a bit of a refresh." And I went, "Yeah, but I don't know what." And it's actually really called from her. Really, she's really good with interior design, and she was like, "Come on, Jay, let's." So, and this is where this was the first room that we did as a bit of a tester before this was all done around about October last year, and then in January we closed for 3 weeks and did the whole complete of downstairs. But yeah, so that's where it sort of...
I mean, I look at things like this and I feel like it's real. Do you know what I mean? Like you go to the Flora Lounge, for example, and you see it's nice in there, don't get me wrong, but it's corporate nice, you know?
Yeah.
You go to Weatherspoons and it's not even corporate nice. It's just
Weatherspoons.
It's just sand pits. Well, like, the food's amazing, by the way. I think it's not bad.
They've taken out the mixed grill on the Weatherspoons.
They've got this thing, I'll say it's not amazing. The food is what it is, but they do have I'm not plugging Weatherspoons.
No.
But they've got this, like... Korean chicken bowl at the moment that is just everywhere. Everyone's eating this Korean chicken bowl. Amazing. Anyway, I see this as like real. Yeah.
Do
you know what I mean? This is like something that's somebody's put their love into and got a paintbrush and done it themselves.
Well, this is the thing.
Do you know what I mean?
Didn't want to, like, because you'll see, like, the floors, like, in the corners of the floors. I mean, I was up here stupid clock because this whole floor was black. It was painted black all the way through. And when I said we were going to do that, I said I didn't want clean lines. I want it to be that it's lived
rustic.
in. Yeah, and that's what I mean. And it truly is. We got the paintbrushes ourselves and we put the paint to the wall. It wasn't, unfortunately, I'm a small independent business owner that I don't have. Don't get me wrong, there was Schuka's painters did come in and rescue me for 2 days because I was so behind. I was so behind and they rescued me, bless them.
I want to get them on the podcast. They're blowing up.
They're everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So, and that's what we did. I got all family friends that came in. I've just done a launch of my company. I went on Sunday, just Sunday gone, and I took the whole of my team from here at the Alb, and also at the Dinky's Diner, and I took them on the Sabrina boat.
Big shout out to Dilwyn again.
Yeah, exactly. So I put them on the Sabrina boat, and we. I just gave them some food. They cook a really good chili. We had a chili and it was absolutely fantastic. I think that was Chris, one of his skippers, that made it. It was really, really great.
Oh, we can't mention the Sabrina without mentioning Sophie as well.
Oh, yeah.
What a legend.
Yes, exactly, yes.
She won a Mayor's Award just by herself, just for working with the Sabrina. I mean...
I know, incredible. So, we took just to say thank you for all the work, because there's been a lot of changes for my team. But I invited everyone that put a paint to the walls. So I had, like you talked about, Charlotte and the Manoy family. Her mum and dad came and helped me out as well and put paint to the wall. I mean, Mandy was here last week still painting her back door orange because she's like, I think a bit of a splash of orange in her garden. So I've got so many really close family friends and family that have just been here in the Alb at 3 o'clock in the morning painting walls.
Did you say you're working with interior designer? Was there a plan, or did you think that can go green, that can go pink? Or
I don't like a plan.
No?
No. There is no...
Let chaos ensue.
There is a bit of wishy-washy plan. There was a bit like, let's have a sort of plan. But no, it was very much like, let's go with... We went with a core colour. I think this pinkish up here was not the original colour that we went to, but we just thought, do you know what? Let's just go with it. But yeah, so no, we didn't really...
It reminds me of a girl frat party, sort of, what they called sorority.
Yeah, the American,
sorority. That's what it reminds me of. It's very bougie. I like it. Now I got to talk about something very ugly that happened in Shrewsbury a couple of years ago. There was a vacuum of, I don't want to name names, I don't want to get sued, but there was a vacuum of venues by a company that left everyone in the crap, and there was lots of empty venues. I think you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah.
That seemed to rock Shrewsbury's hospitality to the core a little bit, because there were core venues.
Yeah.
The Peachtree obviously is back again. It's up and running. Yeah. What was the Seven Social is now sat there empty, isn't it?
Yeah, that's stepped. Well, I think it's the entrance to a hotel now, isn't it? It's not the actual. The Seven Social part's not been
gone.
Used, yeah, it's not been used. Which
what was that like to see as a business, somebody stepping into business or thinking about business? Was that scary for you as business owners? And was there are you part of a contingency of people that own businesses that were kind of like, Jesus Christ, like?
Yeah, I think very
horrible.
At the beginning when it first started, when it obviously all these businesses closed, it was a bit of a shock. Obviously, because no one knew the reasons behind why they were closed. Obviously, over time...
It was all spilled out all over Facebook. Everyone could read it, couldn't they?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It didn't take long for the statements to come out on social media. And it's really hard, because I think now hearing about how a lot of those team, I'm very much about my business is as long I really try to look after all of my team members that work for me, because as far as I'm
sounds like it, yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I got this story from it was Richard Branson, and so in fact it was the first people that you need to look after is your team, not your customer, because as long as your team member is looked after, your customer will always be happy. And I live and breathe by that day by day. So when I start hearing these stories from previous owners or whatever it may be, how certain people were treated throughout their time, which you would never know as a customer walking into these businesses, you would have probably never known that. And so as I mentioned previously before, DJ Fender Kid was played a massive part inside that empire.
That's the second time I heard this name now. Is this someone we need to get on the biscuit?
Yeah, we do. And I did then start to hear a lot of the really inside core information that happened there. And it was a bit of as a whole for Shrewsbury, very, very hard. So, for example, I don't know if you've seen, but we now have launched Coming Out on Monday. So it's our new LGBTQ plus night. So we put on drag queens every other night. So this was a night that originally stemmed from C21's back in the day, then moved to Havana. But unfortunately, when all this situation happened with those group of venues, that night sort of disappeared. And I wanted to bring that night back to Shrewsbury, because I think it was a very core night for many people, for a safe and inclusive area night to come to.
It needs to exist.
Yeah,
it absolutely needs to exist. I'm an ally to.
And we are 6 weeks in, and I'm pleased to say, I've booked all drag queens now until 2027. So we had put on a drag show on every other week. It's £3 drinks. All drinks are £3.
I'm here. I want to get involved in stuff like that. Okay, so the Pride LGBTQ plus is something that I need to delve more into. Yeah. And I'm going to make more of it. I've spoken to people. This is something we're going to. I'll speak to you off mic about the reasons for that. But this is definitely something I want to get involved with. So if we can do that,
100%.
At this time, more than most, I feel like we need to be talking about these things more.
Yeah, 100%. I think we need to put it at the forefront of.
Not to get political, guys, on the biscuit. But
we're not going to. But yeah, at the forefront, it's. We've done these Monday nights and they're great. And don't get me wrong, they are not rammed to the rafters, and they're not. And for me, as a business owner, it's not about making the profit.
Oh, it's a Monday night,
but it's only 7 till midnight, so we do it. We try to do it early. However, it's becoming that popular, we might be extending the night. But we're just trying to bring a night that, and I am working with obviously some really close people in Shrewsbury that are part of the community. Oh, including myself, I am part of the community. And
absolutely,
yeah, and it's a night that we're really proud of at the moment. As I said, we're 6 weeks in. We've just had Drag with No Name, a drag performer this Monday, and then we've got the next one. We've got, I think, Auntie Ginger's with us next week, and then we've got another drag queen the week after. But yeah, look at our calendar online, because we've just booked some really good acts up from all over the UK. A bit of shout out to local queens or drag queens or anything like that, or local singers from the LGBT. Come send me a message on Facebook. I'm looking for all local acts as well, so give us a shout and we'll get you booked in.
But this is really good, and this is like echoing on from Loopfest. A lot of what I was saying is like, big shout out to Jimmy, by the way, for doing a great job with that. Like, it gives people the opportunity to shine, right? So Loop, that's just opened. If you got a grunge band from Ludlow, like the Saints we interviewed last week on the show, you got a place to do that. If you're a drag queen working, honing on your skill, being funny, singing cabaret, you got places like this to go. So you are offering something to the community.
Yeah, definitely. So going back to sort of those venues that closed. I think it was shocking. It shook up the whole of the town a lot because they were, as you said, they were big iconic venues for the town. And I'm glad to see that they are opening and trading
slowly getting back.
And that's what I mean. So
Peachtree's hopping right now. I was in there. We went there. I'm going to embarrass one of my friends now. We went there for Christmas for my kids' football Christmas dinner with the parents. And one of our friends stood up and he went to give a speech to us on the table, but he was so drunk he gave a speech to the whole restaurant. It was amazing. And the owner recognised me, came over, said hello, and I was like, "We get you on the biscuit." He's still not been on the biscuit, but that's the way my mind works sometimes. But yeah, this location as well. I mean, you're right in the corner. I always think that corner building in New York.
Yes.
This is that Shrewsbury's equivalent to that because it's just great, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, location-wise for us is great because, especially on Saturday, it's quite funny because I can base my staff of when to rotor my staff in is based around the trains that come into Shrewsbury Station.
Right, good.
So I know that, right, okay, we've got X amount of trains coming in at this time, so by midday I need X amount of staff. And it is because people roll off the train station.
Coming from Wem, Oswestry.
Wem, Oswestry, your Birmingham, your Wolverhampton, your Telfords, Wellington, that they're all coming in for all directions. And obviously when there's bigger events on in the town, we know that we're going to get really, really big hits massively, like the example Luke Fest. And again, I'd like to give a shout out to Luke Fest because if it's not for people like himself that are putting on these huge events that do not, obviously they benefit all of us around the whole of the town.
And he's honed in on that as well, Jimmy. He was like, Loop doesn't just mean like we're in the River Loop, it's in the train as well. And he's trying to encourage people to listen to live music. I mean, like yourself, taking advantage of those people that come in the train and encouraging that kind of flow of people. What I did want to mention is, like, I always have this saying on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. I always say there's something in the seven, right? Because when it comes to businesses, collaboration is key in this town.
100%.
So you say you speak to people in the community. Have you got like friends of other bar owners that you go?
I think I do. I think because I've been in the town now for 6 or 7 years, I know a lot of people. I think a lot of people, because of my social media, obviously seem to know me quite a lot. I even get the other day I was walking through town. I was going down Pride Hill. And I'm a young lad, it must have been 15, 16, walked past me and said, "Hey, it's you," and fist pumped me. And I thought, so I walked back and said, "Sorry, do I know you?" And he was like, "Oh, no, you're the guy that's on social media." So I was like, "Oh my God, it's great." And I do have my neighbours opposite that live opposite the Alb, and they call me the semi-famous social media guy. I'm far from that. But I do know quite a lot of other... I'm a true believer, especially small independent businesses. I will, on our social media, I will always share and I try to go, I have this rule with myself. I try to go to 5 independent businesses a week to go. And that could be anything from a cake shop right the way through to a pub. And I will post about it on my social media.
Oh, that's good.
And that's on our work social media. So yes, we are a business, but I mean, last week I knew that Mirror, the beauticians around the corner, they were looking for a new salon manager. I shared all of that onto our social media. I think this town is really good for it, but I think there's more that we could do. I think we should all be collectively
just agree.
Shouting and screaming about, because ultimately, as much as on a Wednesday I might be doing 2 burgers and 2 drinks for £25, somewhere else might be closed and go, "Do you know what? Actually, we're closed. It's not really going to affect our business. Let's share that." And that's what I try to do with a lot of businesses. We generally do work together in here. When I've run out of change, I'll run down to the slave and go, "Oh, can I have a few bags of pound coins?" And they do massively help me out. And that's how all of us are going to survive in this rough river.
I feel like it's such a nice place. I mean, like, for example, I always forget that House Coffee's closed on a Monday. So I head towards there. I'll be like, "No, Sam Stephen, what's going on?" And then I'm like, "Oh, there's just Stop Cafe across behind." Do you know what I mean? Like this, there's the Colum Tap, which is it's a great place. I was joking, of course it is. And so the collaboration is key. And shouting about other people is really important. One of my proudest moments was we helped promote the Traitors at the Castle.
Yeah,
when we did the Soldiers of Shropshire Museum. And within 2 days of this podcast going out, they sold out all their tickets. I'm half booked the next event.
Yeah,
it was just like I was just so proud that I could do that for someone. You know what I mean? Because it feels good. Now I'm going to mention your social media because that's one of the reasons why I got in touch with you. Really, because obviously I love this place. I love what you've done to it. But your social media is popping right now. You're going like viral, like it's crazy. And I think I think back and I was thinking, when did I last see this in Shrewsbury? And I'm thinking, Osteria. And I looked at your social media and I saw one person in between it all. Claire, honestly, like, what a legend she is. Because
incredible. Absolutely incredible. I got introduced to Claire. So she was doing, who else was she doing? The Alchemist.
Yes.
She was doing their social media. And I was at that stage where, well, actually, I had a video go viral. And I was like, oh, this has gone a bit crazy. I need help with this. So I did a Guinness video. Well, we're going back probably 2 years ago now. And at the moment, it's had over 5.5 million views. And still people commenting on it. And it was even, I even got, Guinness contacted me directly. It went viral. And yeah, so that happened. And then I thought, oh, I need to carry on this a little bit. I've just come into this business and I think this is going to be a big game changer for us. So I approached Claire and she said, yeah, something I can look after. I look after social media, do all the editing and things like that. And that's where the relationship between me and Colours of Shrewsbury just began. And she basically, she comes and meets me every other Monday. We sit there, have a cigarette and a drink, and we decide what videos we're going to do. They could be original ideas, they could be stuff that we've seen, it could be anything. She sometimes says to me, Jay, you've got to go and put on a dressing gown or whatever it may be. I'm happy to, I mean, the way I look at it is I'm happy if it's going to drive people into my business, which will then pay my team's wages, etc. I'm happy for it. So if you haven't seen our social media, go and take a little look.
It is great.
There is so many random things on there. And from Claire at Colours Shrewsbury, she hasn't just done that for me. She played heavily involved in my refurb. So the artwork that you see downstairs I've renamed him George the Giraffe. We got the Clarissa, the girl on the wall, and that was all done by Claire from Colours of Shrewsbury. She's currently at the moment working in the workshop, oil painting this new sign for me at Dinky's Diner. I just keep throwing stuff at her. I sent her a video the other day of the outside. We're getting the outside of the owl painted. Just go a little bit away from just all black, so we're having but that's being painted, but I want her to do some artwork outside again. So I constantly are throwing stuff at her, but it's great that this relationship between Claire, because we just bounce off each other, and sometimes I do look back and go, some of the stuff she's made me do over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But
she two got a similar background, because she was a rep as well.
Yeah, she was indeed. Yeah,
she's been on the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to it. Colours of Shrewsbury.
But yeah, so, and that's what I mean. And Claire will play a massive part in my businesses going forward. I will always have time for her. She does some great work around the town, and that's what I mean. She
is an unsung hero.
Yeah.
In fact, next Mayor's Awards, I'm nominating you, Claire, because you deserve it. I remember the first time I met her, I was interviewing Alex at Osteria. Well, he keeps saying Osteria. It's Osteria.
Osteria.
And she was there with cameras and stuff, and we got chatting, and I was like, this girl's phenomenal. We hit it off quite well. She's very approachable, isn't she?
Yeah.
So now this working relationship with Claire, I mean, you're popping now, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. God knows what the future's going to bring. So, as I said, we're going to really concentrate on the album. We are the home of the Bottomless Brunches, and we're going to really push forward on that. Live music, again, that was something I introduced last summer, because I know back in the hits, you used to have a lot of live music. It then sort of went, and then we've come...
Where's the stage? Where'd you put your band?
Yeah, the stage. We do all the live music downstairs at the moment, but we are currently, getting a stage built for upstairs.
Okay.
Because we are going to I want to bring live music, comedy nights,
yeah, because you got your
poetry nights,
open mic.
Yeah.
I love that poetry night.
Yeah, poetry nights. That's something I'm looking at the moment. Loads of different, because
deaf poetry.
The thing is, I feel the industry's changed massively. So gone are the days that you could. That's what I mean. Open doors and hope for the best. But what I found now, so we do paint and sip nights here. So I do that with the creative events. Adele from there, again, she's absolutely fantastic. She's been with me well over a year now. So most Saturdays we're painting something up.
Paint and sip.
Paint and sip. So they arrive, they get a cocktail, and they paint different. So it could be the elephant one week they're painting, or they could be last week I think they were painting the dog. So what happened is they took pictures of their animals, sent them to Adele, she drew them on the canvases. They arrived on the Saturday, all the canvases are pre-drawn, and they just paint their dog.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so I think events in the pub environment now have changed. I
think Shane Chebsey used to do some of that with Charlie Adlard, drink and draw.
Yeah,
like Charlie Adlard, the famous Charlie Adlard, like judging people's drawings whilst they've had a few jars. That's quite interesting.
So yeah, we're just doing so many different things here. Obviously, we've got the new karaoke room that we introduced after our refurb. So that's
the room downstairs.
Yeah. So this, what used to be the snug is now our karaoke room. I invested quite a lot of money in the machine itself, but it's paying off. On a Saturday, it's booked out literally every hour.
That's amazing.
So I'm trying to bring as many different.
And food as well. You do food.
We do, yeah. Food. We do food Wednesday to Saturday. And yeah, so the vibe of our food, it used to be very tapasy. We're not now. We're doing really sort of pub traditional stuff. But really some. But there's a few items on there that are a little bit different. Like we still do like sea bass and things like that. So some really nice food on there.
You're spinning so many plates. How do you manage all this in your head?
I don't have a lot of sleep. I grab an hour when I can. But as I said at the very beginning of this pod, you have to be in the fast lane. If you're not in the fast lane, you're going to be. Unfortunately, you're going to be a business that's not.
I'm not a business owner, but I'm a creative, and like I've been so focused because I started a new job. I was like, I need to focus on this because this don't pay the bills, right? And then I was like, oh my god, it's the county show this weekend. How the f- did I miss that? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, So it's one of those things you've got to be in the present in the moment, haven't you?
100%.
Looking ahead. What can happen?
I know exactly in my calendar now. I know exactly what we're doing right up. Christmas is already planned. The menus are already written. And when people say to me, Jay, that's a bit mad. It's not even June yet. I went, because if I don't, when am I going to have to find it? So, and that's what I mean. The team I have, both at the Owl and Dinkies, obviously I've only just taken on the Dinkies, but the core team that I have at the Owl, especially Reese, give a shout out to Reese, who's my deputy manager, or my right-hand man, who does absolutely everything for me. He is absolutely incredible because he just runs the day-to-day business, and I'm able to just go and do all of that operational stuff, what people call the boring stuff, and paying the bills and things like that. However, at the same time, I'm able to then put my creative side of creating the bottomless brunches. And
it is dangerous to be creative, though, isn't it?
I
feel like somebody's talking about a show. I haven't seen it. Apparently, there's a show called The Assembly on BBC.
I haven't seen it.
Where they get famous people, put them on stage, and they say to them, "You're not allowed to say no to any. You got to answer every question."
I've seen this actually. Yeah,
you're asking Stephen Fry how did he manage to do cocaine in Parliament, and it's like they've got to answer these questions, and somebody was like, you should do that on the biscuit, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I think the one I saw was, or the one I saw on social media, it was Danny Dyer, and it was just incredible. And I mean, by the end of it, people had tears in their eyes because it was just quite an emotional. But yeah, I've heard it's supposed to be really. I haven't watched any.
That would be great. I think we'd have to do a spin-off on the biscuit because this is I know, just for an F-bomb. I do that sometimes. It's meant to be family-ish friendly, but that would be great as a live thing. And I'm thinking about I want to sort of step into the live field a little bit. And I've been chatting to Jimmy because I've got an idea of. I said to him, I could be Shrewsbury's answer to Zane Lowe. Imagine like a live show. People pay on the door. A band comes on the stage. They play a song. They talk to me. They play a song. They talk to me. We record it as a podcast. Bam.
100%. So I've actually there's a podcast online I listen to, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, including yourself.
Oh, bless you.
Called The Gossip Gays, they're called. Based in Manchester. And they've just started doing live shows and sell tickets. They do it in Veer in Manchester. And I went to one of them, and the live version of a podcast was incredible. So I'll 100% back you, and I think you should do it. Yeah,
brilliant. I would love to do it. I've just never had the balls to do it. I think now that everything in my life's tidied away, let's do it.
Yeah.
One of my greatest experiences was a live podcast. I loved a podcast called Hollywood Babylon. Kevin Smith was like a pioneer for podcasts. And when I started working in an office on my own at night, somebody was like, you need to listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
I got so involved with their podcast. He did this live podcast where they used to call Justin Bieber a CUNT and all this. It was in this live audience, and they came to Birmingham, and it was amazing. And then we waited till afterwards. No, we went to Wetherspoons, and my wife was like, right, come on, we've got to go. We're going to pay for parking, you know. And as we're walking across Broad Street, my wife pulls me into traffic, drags me across the road because Kev Smith's just stood there. A silent Bob, and I got to take a picture with him and everything. It was
awesome.
One of the best nights of my life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And that's what I think not so much now, but I think podcasts, I don't listen to music in my car. It's podcasts, and people say to me, oh, what music do you listen to? And I don't, because I mean, I used to run nightclubs. Used to be for 10 years I was running nightclubs, so I always had music around me all the time. So it's not that I'm not loving it, but podcasts, I just think I fall asleep to podcasts. That's not because they're boring podcasts.
It's great.
It's so soothing for me. So I listen to loads and loads and loads of podcasts.
I used to fall asleep to Joe Rogan, but then he jumped off a political cliff, and I was like, I can't listen to you.
Mine at the moment I'm falling asleep to is How I Sexted Your Boss by what's his name on Radio 1. Is he on Radio 1 still? And that Etiquette Man. They're the two that I listen to at the moment.
I know the guy you're on about. Was he on? Does he sound like that when he speaks?
Yes.
I love him. He's so good.
Yeah, so
he was on I'm a Celebrity, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he's got an amazing.
So yeah, these are all my podcasts I'm listening to. But yeah, I just listen to so many of them because I think it is, as you said, just to either wind down, but also so much information you get from podcasts. It is like over time, it's like the news to me. Like I hear majority of the stuff from
and
podcasts.
Sometimes you get some amazing ones. I mean, I remember like going back to Kevin Smith. He sat down with Mark Hamill for 4 hours and released it as 2 separate 2-hour podcasts. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. We're talking about this assembly show, which I now need to check out. There's nothing better than someone who you've seen on TV for ages just being unhinged and just being relatable, and that's what it's all about. I think that's why people enjoy podcasts, because you're like, oh my god, Jennifer Lawrence done a podcast. Let's listen to that because she might tell us about what she's like as a human being, not an actress.
Yeah, definitely.
I totally love that. But I'd love to come here for one of your live nights.
Yeah.
The drag show sounds amazing. I love a good drag show.
Yeah.
I remember there was a drag show at so I have such an affinity with the LGBTQ plus community. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast, but in 2010 I got stabbed in the throat and in the face. It's horrible, and I lost all my confidence going into clubs. It was outside. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember Vox in Telford. I don't know. It was
no, I don't.
Shitty little club. I was out with my gay friend, and she was like, she used the N-word. She was a bit drunk, and I was like, oh my god, guys, what have you just done?
Yeah.
I drugged around the side for a cigarette, and then these guys just come. Yeah. So my friend was like, come to the gay bar, I'll look after you. So we went to the Furnaces in Telford, right? It was great. And I went there for the first time with all my stitches still on my face and my bandages and stuff. And there was a drag act on. She was amazing. And then I went back the next week. No, it was the other way around. I met this guy, we were chatting with a group of people, and then I went to the drag act, and she came out, she goes, I've taken all the bandages off, and she was like, oh, are you healed now from your little accident, And I was like, how do you know about that? And it was just like, it was so amazing to be a part of that, do you know what I mean? It kind of helped me so much come out of my shell, so it's amazing.
Oh, that's good. And I do feel whatever the LGBTQ plus venues there is, it doesn't matter what walk of life you are and what you get. It's a space that actually you could just walk in and just, one, be yourself, second of all, relax and just enjoy yourself and enjoy the moment. And I think that's what a lot of those venues are like, and that's why I needed to bring something back in Shrewsbury, so that we had that space in Shrewsbury.
Yeah, it's nice to be an ally. Like Shrewsbury, man, it's booming at the moment. I feel like there's businesses. I've lost count of how many new businesses there are that's just opened recently.
Me, I keep walking past and there's something new opening.
I find it hard to come to town sometimes because I used to live in Bellevue. I could just walk in, do a podcast, come home, be about town all the time. Now I live outside of town, so I have to drive in. But every time I come in, there's something new. Is that exciting for you to see so many new business owners?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's obviously, it's a bit of a 50-50 because obviously there's only so many customers that can go around. But I do think Shrewsbury's such a lovely town that it drags in as many customers as we can try and bring in from outside of town into town. And it is great. I'm all for all new businesses that are opening and being successful, etc. And it is, and obviously there's so many events that go on in Shrewsbury as well. So we all get a slice of the pie, or slice of the pizza, shall we say. But yeah, no, it's really good to see so many businesses that are opening. I walk through town daily and go, oh, what's that? That's opening new. Things are popping up left, right and centre. So no, it's really, really good to see.
Are you open to giving people advice, or are you still not quite there yourself? I mean,
no. So I do I do part time. I do consultancy work. So
do you?
So yeah. So that is.
No wonder this place is looking amazing.
Yeah. So
how would I consult myself? This is what I would do.
So yeah, I did. I've done quite a few. I've done not in Shrewsbury itself, but there's a few businesses in Aberystwyth that I've done that are. I've done some consultancy work for. And in sort of down in South London as well, that I've done consultancy work, and I still do a bit for as well. So yeah, I'm all for. And don't get me wrong, people hear the word consultancy and think, oh my god, can't get consultancy, I'm all for going for a coffee with someone if someone needs a bit of hand and a little bit of help and going, do you know what, I've got a bit of help and advice for me, 100%.
Best setting to listen to someone's problems rather than sitting in an office. Like you said, you say you were sitting in an office. Like I feel like sometimes going for a coffee or a beer even, and talking about your problems. How can I help you? Do you know what I mean? And I feel like listening is like the hard part for some people. I think they can talk as much as they want, but unless you're not listening, and I guess that we're going back to you talking about how you like to support your staff and look after your staff. It's about having that ear to listen to how can I help you be sustainable in your role. Right?
100%.
Yeah. So what's the big picture now? You've got this. You got Dickies. Is that it now? Or are you? No.
Is it going to be that's it? I'm already looking at my third venture, which will be involve both sites and festivals.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying at the moment. So,
brilliant.
So yeah,
did you take part in Loop Fest this year?
We did, yes. Yeah. We had Sunday. We had Jason Allen on the Sunday.
Oh, Jason Allen. Tell him to come on my podcast. He's got like 1 million followers on TikTok, and I'm like, excuse me, on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, get on my show.
100%. I'll get him on. I'll tell him he's not getting another gig with me until he gets onto Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on, Jason.
So yeah, we were heavily involved. So yeah, I am working on something there, but again, I'm a type of person I can't sit still. My parents keep saying to me, Jay, you need to slow down a little bit, but
do you have days where you burn out and you just want to lie on the sofa Snoopy?
Yeah, I do. And it's crazy because when I have become that person that anyone just picks up the phone and wants to chat to, because I am that type of person, when I want to have that day and when I don't answer the WhatsApp messages, people think I've disappeared off the face of the earth because I've not been available for 12 hours. But that's fine. That day is going to be tomorrow, because tomorrow is, so anyone out there, I know this is probably not going out for a while, but it's generally, Thursdays are the day I try to have a bit of a reset day ahead of the weekend.
Yeah, unplug the phone as they used to back in the day. Unplug the phone, close the curtains, and then chuck on your Sunday rerun of Corrie.
Yeah.
That's a great metaphor, isn't it? You need to do that though, don't you, to be able to keep going, because otherwise you burn out. Like, I burn out hard sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, I don't want to do anymore. Like, I love this podcast. I love doing what I do. I love being a creative, but sometimes I'll be like,
yeah, and I do get, and I've realised in life, your body's a machine, and you need to listen to your body. And I think you just need to, especially working in Syndrome and being on the go the whole time. I think I never used to, because I used to think to myself, oh my god, I'm going to have a day off, something's going to go wrong. And because I've got the likes of Reese that work for me, and my mum, bless my mum, back at Dinky Diner, she's pretty much running that ship when I'm not there. You have to have those days, and I sometimes I used to have Mondays off because I thought, but I've always found Thursday's the best day for me, because it's going, especially this week, we're going into a huge bank holiday, probably one of the biggest ones of the year.
Yeah.
We're
going to go down to Brighton because I've mentioned on the podcast, I'm a big, huge Ren fan. He's a great musician, and the Big Push are playing in Brighton, so I was like, let's go to Brighton on Sunday. You might be about, you never know. Because it's bank holiday, there's nothing anywhere, and any rooms that are available, prices up. Yeah, it's mad what a bank holiday does.
It does. It's crazy, and for business, for us, it's crazy. And I think the sun's going to make an appearance. I mean, it doesn't quite look it now. We're looking out the window. It's very, very grey.
I stepped out of work at 5 o'clock and it was nice. So you can't win.
No, you can't. So I have heard it's going to hit nearly 28 degrees this weekend. So be great for a few jars out there. The county show's on this weekend as well, which is going to bring a lot more people to the town. That's great for me for Dinky's, because I have a lot of people that are driving to Shropshire for the show. So I get a lot of passing trains that will stop off at the cafe. So I know as of tomorrow we're going to be very, very busy.
I'm going to miss the county show this year. I feel really bad about that. We did a great show in the county show last year. I love it. It's a great event. Anything that promotes this town and gets people talking, get people walking around here, spending their money, being happy. I love it.
I think the next thing is we need to bring back the flower show, and that's my mission.
Absolutely.
And I believe the new mayor, that is part of his plan. He wants to bring back. I did read something that's what he wants to bring back.
Yeah, it was a great event. It was one of the first. So I used to have a team around me, and that's why I used to love Charlotte, by the way. Big shout out to Charlotte. She's an absolute legend, because when the Hickories had a new menu or they had a promotion or something like that, they'd be like, come around, we'll give you some food, just do something on social media. That's all I want from you. And that's what we used to do. And we had this team around with us. But it started off with Shane, man. Big love to Shane. He's not with the podcast anymore, but we got invited to the flower show to do that. And we were walking around, and the very first time someone recognised us, they went up to Shane and went, "You're the Shrewsbury Biscuit." And he was so like blown away. He's like, "Oh my God, you recognised us. It's amazing." And then they were like, "Oh, yo, can you interview Scouting for Girls?" And I was like, "Yeah?
Yeah, of course."
Okay. So I'm sat there. There's an amazing picture of me sat there with a notebook and a pint, like writing these notes nervously, thinking, "Oh my God, Scouting for Girls." They were so down to earth.
Yeah.
They're such nice people. When it comes to hospitality, though, speaking about people being nice, and it's a tricky thing to manage, isn't it? Because you don't know what's going to walk through the door.
Yeah.
When it comes to your staff, how do you prepare them properly for? I mean, I know there's probably staff that come in that are experienced, but like to do all that knobhead that wants to cause a scene and things like that. How do you guys deal with that?
So I'm all for as well bringing in, especially when we talk about bringing in youngsters into this industry. So it's always been. I know there's again a lot of noise around the government and about how it costs us more money to employ youngsters and things like that. However, but I've got my niece that works for me. She's just doing her GCSEs at the moment. So, and so I've got quite a few youngsters that do work for me, and that's the area that I do prepare, and especially also their parents as well. That unfortunately we are in an environment that they are working, which unfortunately you will find the one or two twits that will walk through the door.
You put it a lot more politely than I did, and I'm keeping that in, by the way, because you know who you are listening to this.
So, and yes, and it unfortunately it does happen on a weekly basis. I'm talking. This will give you a prime example. In the last 6 weeks, I have had to purchase 29. That's 29 female toilet locks.
God.
What you females out there do in toilets, I do not know. But that's a cost to my business. It's huge.
Ladies.
I know. But I literally, it's, and I just say, when unfortunately people like to have a good time when they've had a bit of alcohol, but unfortunately there is those tough times when people are saying very inappropriate things towards, I'm not saying it's just males towards females, it can be actually females towards, I mean, some of the things that I try to take majority of the brunt. If I see it, as soon as I hear or something that's happened within my business, and Reese is the same, we will take the forefront, we'll take that situation out and we'll do that. The things that unfortunately I've been called, I've been shouted at or spat at or whatever it may be, things thrown at me over the years, I'm a tough cookie.
You've been there, you've done it back in your
exactly.
Iron Apple days.
But what does scare me a little bit is we have got youngsters that work in our business that want to do either this as a career moving forward, or are doing this just to get by and make a little bit of money and things like that, are having to deal with it. And
and it comes from all generations, by the way, because I'm seeing a lot of apathy with young people as well.
Yeah.
I think, can I say this? I don't know. I was aware of a lot of young people going around and terrorising homeless people a while back. And there's this, all on the phones, it's all on social media.
Yeah.
There's a lot that happened. But also on the flip side, I'm not going to say the word, there's older people that would like to belittle young people. He feels like there's an entitlement to do that. So it happens to from all angles, you know.
And also, I just find as well, which is quite difficult, I do have the hotel as well. So sometimes I do have very, unfortunately, not nice customers that are potentially staying with me for 24 hours. Luckily, I'm the type of business, we're a daytime trade business. So a lot of our, especially at weekends, people come to us during the daytime straight off the train. So I generally get to see the people where they're the nicest of the day. But I've been on that other end of running nightclubs. So normally by 10, 11 o'clock, we're sort of winding down. The lights are being switched off. But obviously that's the beginning to some people within the town of the partying going on and things like that. So we get it half of what a lot of other sites get.
Because I grew up in Wrexham, we used to have like a route we'd go through town before we got to Liquid, which was the nightclub at the end, right? So you'd start off, Yates's was the one that's on the corner, and then you go from bar to bar to bar, you'd hop, and then by the time you got to Liquid, you could barely stand, usually. You're kind of at the beginning from the train station, aren't you? So that's
we're beginning of the loop. Really.
Beginning of the loop.
So it's people come down to us, and then they probably move. And someone said this to me the other day. This end up here, where we are in Castle Street and sort of like Tap and Can, dough and oil. People are now calling us the Bermuda Triangle, which is new to me. So I only heard this a couple of weeks. So it's other business owners are calling us the Bermuda Triangle, because it is like now we've got Arab that's doing really well, and then you've got Tapacan that really, again, niche customer, but amazing beers in there, and then you've got like sort of like oil. So it's
just taking over.
Yeah,
by the
just
way,
taking over the world. Give us all a bit of slice, please. But yeah, so yeah, I heard someone that went, "Oh, you lot down there, the Bermuda Triangle." I went, "That's news to me." But no, we get them at the beginning of the day. The customers at the beginning of the day, and so we get them when they're generally very, very nice.
I remember. What's the owner's name from Doe and All? I definitely need to get him on because he's such a cool character.
Yeah.
But I remember a few years ago, I was in Daily Brews. I was interviewing Cherie Gerard, who does Drawn.
Yeah.
Amazing person. And I was like, I was waiting for. He came up to me, the guy who was doing oil. He looks like a surfer dude. He's quite cool. Yeah. And he was like, yo, you were the best. I was chatting about the podcast. And he was like, yeah. He was like, what are you doing here today? I was like, I'm meeting Cherie. And he goes, oh, yeah. I'm her husband. And I was like, oh, really? You should be here in a bit. Yeah. We were chatting for 10 minutes. He goes, no, I'm only joking, mate. And he walked off.
That does sound like him.
It was one of the most bizarre things that had ever happened to me. But then I realised who he was. I was like, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, Shrewsbury's a very special place. Obviously, there are problems. I mean, the river's a big one as well. I mean, obviously, you never know. Are you prepared for the floods? I mean, we've been quite lucky the last couple of years.
Yeah, we have been quite lucky. I mean, when we go to flood mode here at the Alb, unfortunately, it's someone has to catch the short straw and someone has to be up for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So we only get affected in the business at the moment is our cellar. So our cellar will completely fill to the height of me. Wow. Which means before it starts, when it starts filling, because it just comes through the walls.
I think there's James telling me that it doesn't need to actually flood to affect your cellar because your flow is below the river level.
So
right?
it just comes through the walls. So then we have to then completely empty all the stock out of the cellar, and then and obviously you've got to realise that all of our main fuse boxes, because it's a 200-year-old building, but it's all in the cellar. So we have to go into like flood mode. And we have automatic pumps that are down there. So then
flood drills, people. Flood drills.
Exactly. Come on, wake up. Go around to all the staff because I have a lot of staff that live on site. Bless them. So waking them up. Come on, we need to get all the flood defences out. Touch wood. We haven't had to go into too much of the flood mode as much, but it still affects us quite a lot, as you said, because it does come through the walls. So we just need to be on alert the whole time.
It is a raging beast that I just said raging beast on my podcast. that river. I've learned so much about that river over my time. We interviewed someone from hydrogeology to learn about the river, and then we learned about Shropshire. SY Homes that built the flats in Coleham.
Yeah, because my parents live opposite there.
And then people were going, oh, yeah, all about the flooding and stuff. And they were like, well, actually, we dug a riverbed, which acts like a sponge, so it's actually better for the river. So that was amazing. I love that. Because I read a comment that somebody said about that, and she shut it down. So bam, it was science.
Exactly. We're going to do the research. But, and that's what I mean. The river itself, it can be, as you said, it can be a raging beast, but also it's a beautiful part of our town.
It is.
And I do have a regular group that meet up. It's called Up the Sewage Creek.
I've heard about this.
Yes. So they meet up here every other Thursday, I think they meet up here. They're doing a lot of campaign around the river and pollution.
Rightly so.
So they meet here, and I do listen to some of their meetings, and it's great what they're discussing. And as you said, it's a beautiful part of our town. I think we should look after it. And I mean, I do remember going back when it used to flood in Shrewsbury, bad.
Yeah.
And I remember when there used to be scaffolding just put up around the whole of the town. And I remember, I would never suggest this, but I do remember my brother did this. You know what is Osteria now, which was Yates's back in the day? Because I remember when it was Yates's, they used to jump off into the water and swim round to Liquid and Diva at the time. I went, the amount of rats and whatever you'll find. But yeah, that's what...
don't do that, guys.
Yeah, please don't do that. Do not try this at home. But it used to be, and that's what I mean. If we look back at what it used to be, my parents live in Coleham, so they lived down... So their houses used to get flooded as well quite a lot, and I think the town, with the defences that went in, has helped us out, but that water's got to go somewhere.
There's that amazing picture of Sam Jewell in House Coffee where he's in the kayak outside his... going down the street in Coleham. I thought that's iconic. I love that. There are some amazing stories that I've learned over the years about Shrewsbury flooding. We won't get into that because it gets quite gory, especially when you talk about the Abbey. But listen, I think I really do. I genuinely appreciate what you've done here. I'm in awe of how amazing it looks. I've done some amazing videos that I've come up with today.
Yeah,
I'll get that on social media because you've not just done it by yourself, you've done it with the community, and that means something. I think, you know, you can come in here, Bertie Big Bollocks, with your money and do, oh yeah, we're good corporate, but you didn't. You kind of, you galvanized the community.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. And I listen to the community, and I can, as you said, I could just go and go, I'm just going to do what I want to. And I spoke to my regulars that were here, and I go, oh, this is the ideas that we were thinking about doing, and got some ideas from them. And it is all about, because ultimately it's the community that will be drinking in my bar. So it's not my bar, it's the community's bar.
Oh, that's a great way to end it. Listen, where can people, by the way, do this, follow the social media. It's just the Alb.
So it's the Alb Lounge Bar, just both on Instagram and on Facebook.
Give it a follow, because every week you get a little treat, because it's
3 times a week.
3 times?
It goes out on a, oh God, Claire's going to shoot me now. I know it goes on a Saturday, Thursday and a Tuesday. Tuesday, Thursday and a Saturday. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll see something pop onto your timeline if you follow us.
Well, Jay, I'm glad we broke the ice on this podcast. I feel like we can definitely work together in the future, because I think we get on with hit it off quite well. Do you know what? I was in the office till 5 o'clock today. My brain has melted during this podcast. I don't know if you noticed, but thank you so much for...
No, thank you for inviting me. And as I said, it's been an honour to come on your podcast.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So there we go. What a great episode that was. Thank you, Jay, for being a great guest. Best of luck with Dinky's Diner and the Alb going forward. I feel like this is an episode that opens up many doors for us going forward. We stood and we chatted for ages afterwards, talking about things that we could work on together. So, yeah, this was a great one, good one for the books. And thank you so much for you know, this... potential in this town, absolute potential in this town, and it blows my mind like that. I have been doing this show for so long, and I'm still not running out of things to talk about and do in this town. So I'm very, very happy with how things are going at the moment, and I'm excited as well. You talk about the Riverside and all the things that are going to change there. Like, we got Shrewsbury's about to go through an amazing change, and I'm very excited. I'm all here for it, so that's cool. Next week we got a really cool episode for you guys. I'm hooking up with another podcast, Talking Shrimp Podcast. Make sure you go and listen to that. Listen to them. Give them a follow on social media. I think on Instagram they are the Shrimp That Talks. Well, the podcast is Talking Shrimp. And I'm really looking forward to chatting to those guys. They're really fun. They've asked me what we're going to talk about, but I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about microphones and headphones and what mixers and stuff we like. That wouldn't be very good for you guys. So maybe it would. I don't know. But we'll find something fun to chat about. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Give those guys a follow. It'd be really, really good. Thank you for tuning in today. If this is your first time listening to the Shrewsbury Biscuit, make sure you give us a follow on social media. We could do all that support. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There is the website too, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit Podcast.co.uk, and that is lovingly made for us by our sponsors, the Web Orchard. If you need a website for whatever it is you do in this world, they'll make the perfect website just for you. And if you inquire or you want to go and buy a website, you know, just on the value of listening to this podcast, let them know it was Alex who sent you. Yeah, then they'll give me a hearty high five. Thank you again for tuning in. Really means a lot. You guys are here. So thank you. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Peace out. Enjoy the sun. Oh, wear some sunscreen, please, because it's very warm out there.
I said I took my lumps, roll with the punches, made my bed, ignored my hunches. I focused on the wrongs of the baby, you are the change now.